Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Sports Mixtape. Happy basketball Christmas, as I call it. This is the happy time of year for us basketball fans. March Madness, one of my favorite times of year. We got a bunch of March Madness that we're going to be going over, a little preview, our top 5 Cinderella runs ever, and we're going to do a little bit of trivia, see how much these guys know.
It's always fun.
Yeah, for sure. I love the trivia. But yes, we're excited over here about March Madness. So let's...
Can I start with a story?
Is it about Duke?
It's about March Madness.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll get there.
Can I start with
These guys have reined me in a little bit.
Yeah.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. We're shooting this on the 17th.
Yes, happy St. Patrick's Day. We are in green.
May all the luck go to the Cinderellas this year.
Yeah, it's such a fun time of year. But so I did a little research today on where the term March Madness came from. You guys heard any stories? This was new to me. I had no idea.
I feel like I heard it a while ago. I have no idea.
Does this have to do with the Mad Hatter?
1939, Illinois. There was an Illinois High School Association official, like a referee. He coined the term March Madness to describe, in an essay, he wrote an essay, talking about the excitement describing the state high school basketball tournament in Illinois. So that was the first mention of it. Where it really got popular, though, the 1982 NCAA tournament. Famous announcer Brent Musburger. He's the one who really brought it into the public consciousness. So that was news to me.
Yeah, I mean
news to me now.
I didn't know it started in high school, but that's pretty cool. All right. Well, there's your little tidbit for today to start out with.
I got a handful of tidbits in the top 5. So
I love it. All right, we'll start out with a preview. I'm sure all of you guys have filled out brackets at this point or have taken a look. But no surprise, the number 1 seeds that we have here, Duke, Michigan, Arizona, Florida, Duke being the number 1 overall seed. This is going to be an interesting tournament to me for Duke without, who's that, Foster?
Yeah, Caleb Foster's out.
Yeah.
And you had the big man, the other big guy was injured.
Gongbo should be back, our center, which is huge on the he's like the defensive anchor down by the rim.
When he's in, their defense is top 5 in the country easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think probably all 3 of us are leaning toward Duke.
And the, for lack of a better term, we'll call him the other boozer, but the guard, he played well in the conference tournament. Had a huge first half against Virginia, scored 14 points, kind of kept Duke in that game early on. But here's another little bit of trivia for my Duke fans out there. The Final Four this year, anybody have any guesses where it's taking place?
Yes, in Indianapolis.
Indianapolis. So Indiana, obviously a great basketball state. Duke's got some history in Indy. They won national titles here in 1991, 2010, and 2015. So this is a good omen for Duke this year. Also, you got the fact that these Boozer brothers just don't lose. 4-time high school state champs. These guys don't know what it's like to not win a title.
Duke has great, obviously the main Boozer bros at Cam is a different animal. But yeah, I mean, look, they have a bunch of role players. Duke could really take this thing. You also have other contenders: UConn, Illinois, Houston, Michigan State, and I didn't even throw Purdue in there. But there is a lot of competition this year, a lot of good teams. Now, Duke has proven that they could beat. They beat Michigan earlier, so
yeah. And a little different style of play, from each of these teams. You've got Duke, who's been, a top-ranked offense and defense most of the year. You got Arizona, plays a little bit more of a 90s throwback game. They don't shoot a lot of threes. They play the 2 big men, the 2 centers. You've got the freshman Burries. You've got the Big 12 Player of the Year, Jaden Bradley. They're going to be a tough team, but Arizona has not fared well the last couple of years. They haven't made it past the Sweet 16 with the new coach.
And I do like Arizona. I've liked Arizona all year, but some of these games that they lost were ugly. And
then you've got Michigan, dominant for most of the year. The issue with Michigan's another team that plays great defense. They have a lot of size. It's a big team. The issue with them is the turnovers. They ranked 179th in turnover rate. The games they lost this year were games where teams pressed and pressured them. And they may have a matchup with Iowa State if things pan out the way they're supposed to. Iowa State turns teams over a lot. So
and you cannot turn that ball over. This is the time of year you can't make those mistakes or you're going to lose. Every team is trying to press. They're playing hard. And if you're turning the ball over, see ya. Brad, you got any teams you want to talk about?
I'm looking at this East region with Duke, St. John's, Michigan State, Kansas, even we got UCLA and even UCLA. These are all very seasoned NCAA tournament teams. Handful of them have probably 3 of the top 5 or top 10 NBA prospects for next year also. And in this tournament, you can expect for these NBA prospects to show up and make some runs. So this region's the toughest one for me to go through.
Because you're right, because I like Duke. I love St. John's. If they weren't in the same bracket, I'd have them going further.
If Peterson for Kansas shows up, they can make a deep
exactly.
run.
Michigan State too. You can never count Michigan State out.
And look, I don't see St. John's losing this game. But Northern Iowa is going to be a tough out in the first game with St. John's. Those guys have played together for several years. There's a lot of continuity on that team.
They always have a pretty solid team.
Yeah.
In these
so that's the next thing I wanted to talk about was some potential Cinderella teams. We have a semi-local favorite in Virginia Commonwealth. Number 11 seed this year. They've made a run in the past. They're playing a more depleted North Carolina team, but how about another team, local team, High Point. Coming out of North Carolina? They've got a shooting guard who shoots nothing but threes.
So
could this be like a reminiscence of the Steph Curry Davidson team?
Speaking of High Point, 4th in the country in scoring at 90 points per game and 3rd in offensive rating. So these guys move.
And they got a first round against a Wisconsin team who has had some questionable losses this year.
Brad is referring to Chase Johnston. This is his 6th year. He was at Stetson. He was at Florida Gulf Coast.
He's the Chris Winkie of college basketball.
On the season, the guy is 64 of 132 from 3. That's an insane 48.5%. The only issue is he doesn't play tons of minutes. He's like a 10 to 15 minute a game
He doesn't shoot any
He might this tournament.
Yeah.
He might need to. But yeah, High Point, that's definitely a sleeper team. Yeah. And you guys mentioned Northern Illinois.
Well, hey, how about the big news with the Bama squad?
I know.
Number 2, Aiden Holloway, their number 2 scorer, arrested on pretty significant marijuana charges. It doesn't look like he's going to be playing in the tournament.
Well, he's off the team. They booted him from the team, and
that's huge for them.
I don't even know if they're going to make it out of the first round. To be honest with you, that's going to really throw them off.
Yeah.
Here's one matchup I'm really looking forward to if they both make it out of the first round, which they should, is Virginia versus Tennessee.
Yep.
In that Midwest region. These are going to be 2 of the top defenses going at it. In the second round. But I like Tennessee. They're not a deep sleeper, but I do like Tennessee to advance a little bit in this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, look, Tennessee. What do we have, Mav? 6
Number
seed?
6, yeah. But they're in that SEC, and the SEC was tough this year. Arguably the best conference in the country this year.
But Virginia made a little bit of noise this year. I mean, they're 3 seed for a reason as well.
Virginia's got a super solid defense and a center that is a blocked shot machine in that ACC conference.
How does that team always just have one of the best defenses in the country? It's crazy.
Fundamentals.
Year out.
Fundamentals.
I had another one. University of Southern Florida.
Yeah.
8th in the country in scoring at 88.3 points per game. 2nd in the country in rebounds per game.
Coming in on a roll, I think they've won, 12 in a row? Something like that. They're coming in on a hot streak.
Now, this is a very tough game because don't throw any shade at Louisville either.
No,
they've had some tough wins this year as well.
Look, I'm going to give a safer, but what I think is my upset early on. It's not a huge sleeper. It's not this isn't like a 14 beating a 3. But I think Santa Clara handles Kentucky. I think Kentucky has struggled all season long.
Yeah, Santa Clara is a good team.
Is a safe bet.
In that, was it the WAC, the championship? Against Gonzaga, you could see they are a physical team. They can bang down low too, and the offensive and defensive rebounding is huge for them. So yeah, I see them. I got them in my bracket beating Kentucky.
I'll tell you another first round, maybe fun game to circle as far as watching. I really think Illinois can make a run at a national title this year, but they're going to be going up against Penn. Keep an eye on TJ Power for Penn. This guy started his career.
I loved what he did last game.
So he dropped 44 points in the Ivy League championship. This guy ended up in the Ivy League, but that wasn't where he started.
No.
Played his first year at Duke, his second year at UVA. This kid can hoop. It's going to be interesting to see him going up against that Illinois squad.
Yeah.
They should be able to put up some points. That Illinois team scores points, but they also give up some points.
I really want that upset.
It makes me so excited.
I really want that upset.
There's going to be upsets in this first round, and I'm pumped.
Like you said, Brent, Illinois is no slouch. Like they could win the whole thing. I mean, they're a tough out.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you another team that, not the greatest success historically, Coach Calipari, but Brad's been talking about him all season long. Arkansas and Darius Acuff Jr.
He shows up.
He's the best guard in the tournament, hands down. The kid can hoop. It's gonna be fun. That's a team that I could see getting hot. I mean, they run their offense pretty much through him driving and kicking. But
let's talk about one more guard. And I'm sorry. For the life of me, I can't remember his name, but I sent Brent and Jimmy a video of him today from Cal Baptist. I just watched a highlight reel of this kid, and it'll blow your mind. He is breaking everyone's ankles, and I can't wait to watch him in the first round.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and he's going up against Kansas, who knows what Kansas team is going to show
Kansas
up.
is Jekyll and Hyde
Kansas
this year.
Kansas is gettable this year. Yeah.
I do want to mention those Akron Zips. All right, Miami, Ohio. We'll talk about them for a minute. They made it in, but they were undefeated all year and then ended up losing in the championship game.
Is that controversial? They're in a play-in game?
I think, look, you win that many games.
Their best win was Akron. So they didn't really play anybody this year.
Akron, 7th in the country in scoring, 10th in the country in field goal percentage. These guys got overshadowed by Miami, Ohio, but they might be able to make a little run. So look out for the Zips as well.
Yep.
But any other teams you guys want to talk about or highlight?
Yeah, I think players for me. I think, we've talked about this being like such an incredible draft class.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes this time of year, there are some question marks. I think the top 3 seem locked in. Nobody really knows the order, but it's either going to be DeBanza, Boozer, and Peterson. Peterson's had some of the injury issues.
Acuff may work his way up that draft board, too.
DeBanza's got like the tools that you would want as the big win, but he's a streaky shooter. He's not a knockdown, lights-out shooter. A Boozer is so just... I've called him in a way, it's not a knock, but boring.
It's the same
25,
game
12, plays good defense. He creates so much attention, and then what's amazing, like you noticed in that UVA game, so that center for UVA was incredible, and Duke kept trying to go in, and he was blocking everything. Duke was able to start running plays for Boozer as like a point center. He's bringing the ball up and running it from the top of the key, and that's when Duke was really able to start exploiting that Virginia defense. So he's a great passer for a big guy.
He can adapt,
I'm excited about those guys. I'm excited about Lendeborg for Michigan.
Yeah.
Another big guy who could, he's going to probably be at least a top 15 draft pick. You got the guys like Acuff. And, it's always just such a fun time of year because no matter what, there's always upsets that no one sees coming. It happens every single year. We can sit here and we can look at the numbers and we can get whatever. And the key is is not having it's having your Final Four teams advance those first 2 rounds.
I just looked this up. I didn't write down the numbers because I didn't want to bore you guys with a million numbers. But ESPN, they keep track of all the brackets that are done. And I was wondering if there was ever a perfect bracket and the odds are like 1 in like,
trillion,
166 billion. So no one that they've ever tracked has had a perfect bracket. People have come close, but you're right. There's always upsets. You never know what's going to happen.
And look, man, keep an eye on Purdue. Purdue's got some guys coming back. The point guard, second team All-American again this year. He's about to break Bobby Hurley's career assist record.
Yeah.
They just, put it on Michigan in that Big Ten championship game. So there are a lot of teams that have the potential to win it this year.
Yeah. Well, look, before we move on, though, hey, we don't want to give too much away about our brackets because we still have this running contest going on. Go to our Instagram page. Click the link in the bio for our Yahoo Bracketology bracket.
Share it with your friends, your family.
We've restructured just a little bit. We got a donation of some cash to throw towards the prizes. Thank you, AJ Quigley, for your generous donation. Yeah. We're throwing $30 to the first place winner, $20 to the second place winner, and the gaming console now is going to go to a randomly selected placed winner. In the bracket.
All you got to do is join. It's free.
It's free to sign up, guys. After this airs, you're gonna have some time still to sign up. So get on it.
All right. All right. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna talk about our top 5 most fun Cinderella runs / teams in the NCAA tournament. Now,
it's the best part of March Madness.
It is, because like we were just saying, there's always upsets, always teams that make these Cinderella runs. You may have heard these teams over the past couple of weeks from us, but let's get it going. Anyone want to volunteer to go first? Number 5?
Why not? I'm going to keep it in the state of North Carolina, and I touched on it with who I thought could be a potential sleeper in High Point this year. Let's go with the 2008 Davidson team. It wasn't a deep run for this team, but this was when a star was born.
Yeah.
Steph Curry came out in his sophomore year and just lit it up.
You'll see him on my list.
And it wasn't like he was going up against some lower seed teams. They were a number 10 coming into the tournament. And they made it up all the way up to the Elite Eight, but they upset a great Gonzaga team at number 7 in the first round. Curry dropped 40 points in this game, not to mention 30 in the second half. He always seemed to show up when it mattered.
Oh
right?
Yeah,
he was a big game hunter.
Second round, number 2 Georgetown. Curry, another 30 points.
This was a huge upset because this was Roy Hibbert was on that Georgetown team.
Yep.
And was just this big presence in the paint back when big men still kind of dominated the game.
Then again, not to mention, they're down 17 points in the second half to make this comeback. Next round, number 3 Wisconsin. Curry, another 33 points dropped in this game. And they dominated this one, 73-56.
They just couldn't stop him at the 3-point line.
And this is one of the best defenses in the league that year. And then in the Elite Eight, they lost to the eventual champs, the number 1 seed Kansas, in a very tight 57-59 game.
Nail-biter.
Davidson had a chance in the final seconds of this game. Curry ended up getting double-teamed. Had no choice but to dish the ball off. I don't know how. If I was that coach, you got to somehow get all 4 guys to set one big screen just to get Curry open even at half court to make the shot.
You got to realize how small he was though in college. He's still not a big guy, but he was not big in college. It's tough for him to get that shot off.
Curry's forced to pass the ball to Jason Richards, and he banked it off the backboard as the buzzer ended. But
yeah.
I would have loved to seen that run continue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing run.
One of the most fun guys to watch play basketball, Steph Curry.
Yes.
I always like to add an interesting fact in all my top 5. So campus support on this one, though. The school paid for tickets, transportation, and lodging for any student who wanted to go to the Sweet 16 or Elite 8 game held in Detroit.
Very cool.
That's awesome. That's what every school should do. Bring your fans out. Pay for them to support you.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
All right, I'm going to, my pick is in honor of Freddie, of Freddie's Corner. This team hails from Jersey City, New Jersey. Now look, it's an incredible feat. It's only ever happened twice that a 16 has beat a 1. You'll occasionally get a 15 knocking off a 2, but it's rare that one of these 16, 15, 14, even 13 seeds makes it past the first or second round. We're talking St. Peter's 2022. This team made it all the way to the Elite 8, where they were eventually knocked off by a Carolina team, but
they're on my list.
they knocked off number 2 Kentucky in overtime. This hurt because I had Kentucky in my Final Four that year. Then they beat 7-seed Murray State, but then they go up against a 3-seeded Purdue and Zach Edey.
Yeah.
Now, Zach Edey was like double the size of most of the St. Peter's team did not have a big team. This team was so scrappy, played tough defense, and we've talked about it in the past. All it takes is one run, and these coaches typically get some really nice jobs. So the head coach at the time was Coach Shaheen Holloway.
Yep.
He was an alma mater at Seton Hall in New Jersey. After this run, he was named the head coach of Seton Hall. St. Peter's team was an awesome team to root for because, again, a 15 seed making it all the way to the Elite 8, that's impressive.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
They're on my list, so let me just throw out my interesting fact. You covered everything else that I had. John Calipari's contract, $86 million at the time. This more than doubled the entire endowment of the St. Peter's University School.
I believe St. Peter's maybe used to be known as Jersey City State. I can't remember. But yeah, Jersey City School.
Sweet.
Awesome. All right, my number 5 team, 2011 VCU.
Yeah.
This team started as an 11 seed, and what's great about them is they started in the first 4 as well. So they had to win the play-in game, and Shaka Smart was their coach. I think we've mentioned this, but used to love this guy as a coach. And this team reached the Final Four. They used to play, they'd call it Havoc, full court press on defense. But yeah, they won 5 games before losing to Butler in the Final Four, and that's including beating top-seeded Kansas.
Yeah, they beat Purdue as well.
Yeah.
And again, Shaka Smart ended up at Texas after this.
Exactly.
And eventually worked his way to Marquette. But
These coaches, they, like you said, they go on a run and they're gone.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
And
number 5, VCU.
it wasn't this year, but one of these VCU scrappy teams when Shaka was there knocked off Duke one year in the tournament. It was a huge upset. So
Was that the first round game?
good choice.
It was.
I don't know if it was in this season.
Yeah.
In 2011, it might have been 2012,
that,
but it was around that time. VCU had a couple years where they had a couple solid squads.
All right.
All right, number 4.
4.
Let's go with the 2006 George Mason team.
That's my
It's
number 4.
It's on my list as
Yeah?
well. A little
All
higher
right.
up.
This is a historical team in the sense that it created one of the greatest basketball coaches of all time, and it also became the first mid-major team in like almost 30 years to make a Final Four run.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the coach, Jim Larrañaga.
And just an extra check mark for this team. They knocked Tyler Hansbrough out of the tournament.
Yeah, they beat Carolina, yeah.
Not to mention the defending champ, Tyler Hansbrough, and Danny Green. But Jim Larrañaga, 2-time National Coach of the Year, 2 improbable Final Four runs. He led, after this year, he ended up nailing the Miami coaching job. He turned that program around.
Was that the Shane Larkin team when they went to the Final Four? Remember the point guard Shane Larkin was a stud.
It may have been. Yeah,
He played for the Celtics for a brief period of time.
But he turned Miami into a viable ACC basketball team. took them to their first Final Four in 2023, just a few years ago.
Yeah.
But their road to the Final Four beat number 6 Michigan State. It was the team's first NCAA tournament win in the history of the school. Then they go and beat number 3 Chapel Hill, took down Hansborough, Danny Green. Danny Green, is he still playing in the NBA?
He's been playing forever.
He was like one of the greatest utility men in the NBA.
Yeah.
He's got championships with San Antonio.
Great shooter.
Yep. Then they had a easier number 7 Wichita State game in the Sweet 16. 4 players in that game scored double digits. And then they went against the number 1 UConn, and in that game overcame a 12-point deficit. And I think UConn was the top seed.
They
that
were,
year.
yeah.
They were.
Eventually lost to Florida, who was the national champs that year, and what a stacked team that was. Al Horford, Joakim Noah, Billy Donovan coached that team. Corey Brewer.
Corey Brewer was on that squad.
So George Mason, if you remember this year also, they didn't win their conference. So they got an at-large bid, which people were pissed off at. They were like, this team, how do you give the team like this an at-large bid? They don't belong there. They're going to lose first round. And it was great. They came in and showed everyone.
Obviously, the committee got it right, and that's exactly what those at-large bids are for. Teams who could, disrupt the norm.
Yeah.
So the current team, by the way, is coached by the point guard of that team, in Tony Skinn. And an interesting fact, this run for that George Mason team almost never happened, because Tony Skinn was suspended the first game of that tournament for punching. He ended up punching, a Hofstra player going into the tournament in their conference tournament. So the backup point guard stepped up against Michigan State, got him off to the next round.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a great run. I mean, this leads into where I'm going, because I have another number 11 seed making a Final Four. That's not something you see every day. You see a 6 seed in there every once in a while, a 7, an 8, a 5. A double-digit seed in the Final Four is crazy.
If you see something outside top 4, it's impressive.
So I'm going 2018. Jimmy talked about them last week. We're going with the Loyola Chicago team of 2018. An 11 seed. They were only the 4th 11th seed of all time to reach a Final Four. This is lovingly referred to as the Sister Jean run. Yeah. She was the mascot of that team. I just found this out. Sister Jean just passed away last year. Rest in peace. She lived to 106 years old. Yeah. She was 106 years old. So, anyway, this team...
Gosh, I wish I could live that long.
The first 3 rounds, this
happened.
This team in each of the first 3 rounds won on either buzzer beaters or last-second shots.
Yeah, yep.
Their first 4 games, they won by a combined 14 points. This was like a cardiac team, a blood pressure team.
You remember they had like prayer circles and stuff before, and people were like, dude, God is just willing them to win.
It's working. So they beat the 6-seeded Miami Hurricanes. They beat the 3-seed Tennessee Volunteers, number 7 seed Nevada, and then the 9-seed Kansas State to get into the Final Four. They eventually would end up losing to Michigan. But this was one of those fun, magical runs. And like these guys are saying, when you get a double-digit seed that starts winning some games,
you start rooting
it's
for
hard
them.
not to pull for them.
You have to.
Yeah.
I love it.
Screw your bracket at that point. You just got to pull for them.
I still root for my team if they're still in it, but you always love to see those.
It's not all about the money, Jimmy.
No, I never have won it in it, so. All right, Brad, number 3.
All right, we've covered a few good ones. So this is the year I was born. We're going to take it back to 1985, the Villanova Wildcats. Coach Rolly Massimino, this went into the tournament as a number 8 seed. And this is the first tournament of 64 teams. This is coming off of, I think it was the Cardiac Pack '83 championship run that got the committee thinking about expanding the tournament and getting some at-large bids in. The road to the championship here is number 9 Dayton. They beat the number 1 seed Michigan. Number 5 Maryland with Len Bias on that team. Number 2 UNC. Number 2 Memphis State. Then they go and face the heavily favored Georgetown Hoyas with Patrick Ewing, defending champs. They win it by the skin of their teeth, 66-64. Some call this the perfect game, as this team shot 78.6% from field goal range.
Impressive.
The coach had other things to say. He said it's far from perfect. We had 17 turnovers. We only won by 2 points. They won the national championship, and they got a disgruntled coach.
Was this the lowest seeded team to ever win a title?
Yes.
I think the 8th seed was the lowest seeded team to ever win a championship.
And to end it, my interesting fact about this team, this is before, everything now is nutrition. These teams have nutrition coaches, the school invests money and all that kind of stuff. So this team was fueled by nothing but Taco Bell and McDonald's for this tournament run.
The best.
Michael
come
Jordan
on.
ate McDonald's.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
Nice.
All right, Brent, your number 3.
My next 3 have all been mentioned, so I just have a little brief tidbits for them. But I had that 2011 VCU squad. Jimmy already mentioned it. The first team to ever go from the first 4 to the final 4. Shaka Smart, just a scrappy team. They had good guards on that team too. And I had that VCU squad from 2011.
Nice. Sweet.
The first 4 to final 4. That's my NC State Wolfpack this year.
Yeah, they played tonight, right?
They played tonight.
Texas.
9-15 against Texas. Yeah, we're a 1.5 favorite tonight.
You gotta believe.
This will be last night for you guys watching. All right, my number 3. I only have them at 3, really. I was not alive, but it's 1983 NC State.
You gotta have them.
Jimmy V, Lorenzo Charles beating powerhouse team Houston. They were a 6 seed and just made a completely improbable run. No one thought they would, make it as far as they did. Nonetheless, win and beat Houston.
Yeah.
If you want to know more about it, we talked heavily, I talked in depth about it last episode. Go check it out.
But yeah, that's my number 3.
And we got to mention it again because there's so many iconic. Obviously, that run, like Brad talked about, they had to beat Virginia twice just to get into the tournament, and that was a Ralph Sampson team. But the game itself, the airball dunk, and then we mentioned it. It's worth repeating again because he was such a legendary coach. But Jimmy V running around just looking for someone to hug after that.
Yeah, I love
after
it.
They had the chance to cut down the nets.
Yeah.
All right, number 2.
Number 2, Brad.
Oh, number 2. I think I'm on my number 1 now.
Number 2 work?
Maybe. You might have had a similar.
Yeah, I had a similar one with Brent. So you guys go ahead if you still
I had the Davidson team that Brad already talked about. And like Brad said, this was the national coming out party for Steph Curry. Now, if you rooted for a in-state team like the 3 of us do, Brad's a Pac fan, Jimmy's a Tar Heel fan, I'm a Duke fan, you already knew about Steph Curry before this tournament.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Because we overlooked him. We didn't recruit him, none of us. And when he played against one of those teams, he was good for like a 30 burger.
Yeah, he'd make you pay.
And what was incredible, if you go watch the highlights from this tournament, Steph still has a baby face, but back then, he looked like an 8th grader. He was so small physically. His
uniform did not fit.
His jersey looked huge on him. And
he brought so much swag to the game, though. Just calmness.
A coolness.
Yeah.
Yep. And this was like the national coming out party for Curry. Brad already, he averaged 32 points per game during these 4 games. Now look, at the time, this has since been broken with the 3-point revolution that Steph Curry created.
Oh, yeah.
But at the time, in only 4 games, he set the NCAA record with 23 3-pointers made. Yeah. He was lights out from beyond the arc.
So good.
Silky smooth. That was, and it was such a hard, they were in that game with Kansas. It was one that you thought, are they really going to make it to the Final Four? So yeah, that was my number 2, that Davidson squad.
Yeah. My number 2, I mentioned, I think, last week, Dunk City.
Yeah.
Florida Gulf Coast, 2013. Now, this team did only make it to the Sweet 16, but I mean, what a fun ride regardless.
Non-stop highlight reel.
High-flying dunks, alley-oops, fast pace.
I can't remember. Does anyone remember what their mascot is called? I can't remember. They had cool uniforms.
They
too.
were
They were
like
black and like a
It was like a wave or
it was
tide
something
or
ocean.
something.
It was like something ocean related. Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, this just go and watch the highlights. And like we said before, this is a 15 seed. So watching a team like that make a little run and do it in that fashion and just dunking all over everybody, you love to see it.
Who'd they beat in that first round? Do you remember?
I don't remember the first round, but
was it Duke?
No, they didn't. No.
Okay. One of Duke's losses as a 2 seed was to C.J. McCollum for Lehigh.
Was it Kentucky?
Years ago. I don't remember. It might. They might have knocked off Kentucky
It
in
may
the
have,
first
it may
or
have been a
second
Kentucky
round.
team.
I don't remember. Yeah.
All right, Brad, you're number 1.
Let's take it back to the Wolfpack, baby. I got to put them at number 1. This was such an exciting ride 2 years ago. This is the Why Not Us NC State Wolfpack.
Man, I didn't even think of this team. You're right. That's a great team.
2024.
DJ squared.
So this was, in my mind, going to be Coach Kevin Keats' last year as the head coach, rightfully so. And this team got him an extended contract for 1 more year. This team was led by DJ Burns and DJ Horn. Burns, man, what an exciting...
Is that the big one?
Yeah, entertaining guy, man. He could bang down low. He had that sweet left-handed hook shot. He made every freaking free throw he took. He was just solid, cool under pressure, full of joy and happiness just to be out there.
I wonder where that guy is now.
He had such
I think he's playing European ball now.
He had such soft touch around the basket.
Yep.
He was one of those guys that would throw it up. It would softly hit the rim a few times.
What seed were they?
They were
they were
a 10 or 11.
Yeah, they were up there.
Yeah. But getting into this run, though, before the conference tournament, they lost 7 games in a row.
Which is crazy.
They got to go into the tournament and win the whole thing outright. To do that, they got to go and beat Duke. They got to beat UVA. And then they got to beat Chapel Hill. Bing, bang, boom. Get it all done, right? Why not us? They enter the tournament as the 11 seed. They go against Texas Tech, beat them. Number 14, Oakland. Now, this was another
shooter.
Super exciting semi-Cinderella run. They had a three-point shooter that just made everything.
He had like a flat top, I think.
They had the potential, whoever won this game had the potential to make this run.
Yeah.
But that Oakland team lived and died by that one three-point shooter. Then they go beat number 2 Marquette. And then they beat number 4 Duke again.
Duke, yeah.
So that wins the South region that year. Final Four, that's where the run ends. They got to go against Zach Edey in his final year playing collegiate ball. They were number 1 seed. I think they were the number 1 overall seed this year too.
Pretty sure.
And they played them tough. We lived and died by the savior 3-pointer to keep making comebacks in games, and we just couldn't get it done. We only scored 50 points in this game. Lost by 13. Kept it close all the way up to the final few minutes. We compare this to a similar run as the 83 championship team. We didn't make it quite as far. But someone got overshadowed in this tournament because DJ Burns kind of took the spotlight. This was Muhammad Diarra. This was our center. This kid was a defensive freak, rebounding freak. He set the NCAA tournament rebounding record, beating out Tim Duncan, 112. He had 112 rebounds in this tournament.
Wow.
And he had 2 more games to even play in.
Yeah.
Interesting fact, You talked about DJ Burns' soft touch. A lot of times we see in the NFL, these big guys, the linemen, they're very nimble and they're very soft with their touch. Usually you credit that in the NFL to like ballet or something. Well, in this case, DJ Burns is a classically trained musician. We saw a little bit of highlights because they made it so far. So they were like showcasing the star players, but classically trained in piano, the upright bass, saxophone. He does it all, man. He's got a career outside of the NBA.
Renaissance, man.
Yeah,
It's Renaissance,
I like it.
man. Very nice. My 1 seed, already mentioned, George Mason, the 2006 team. I was in college during this run. It was a really fun one. It was a really fun Final Four that year. LSU made the Final Four that year. They knocked off J.J. Redick and the Duke team. Said everything that needed to be said. I love that they knocked out freshman Tyler Hansbrough. But one little fun fact, especially for Brad as a Giants fan here, the power forward for that team, Jai Lewis, he was like the star player. After the season, ended up signing with the New York Giants as a free agent to play tight end / offensive line, and had a very brief stint as a football player.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. My number 1 as well mentioned, 2008 Davidson, Steph Curry legend began there. Not much more to it. I think we've kind of talked about it. But yeah, that to me, that was just, like you said, we kind of knew about Steph and you were wondering what he was going to do and just blew all our expectations away.
I'm just happy like we were able to watch 90% of the ones that we just talked about.
Yep. One of like such a sad moment was the fact that Davidson did not make the tournament the next year. Steph was the leading scorer in the nation, and they got knocked out in the conference tournament and didn't get the at-large bid. But
which is crazy.
I know
that they didn't get an at-large bid, but
just for ratings purposes. Few honorable mentions. We got to talk about those Butler teams. The 8th seed in 2011, the team that lost to Duke in the final. Gordon
almost
Hayward
made the
missed
half
shot.
court.
But then the next year, they made it back to the final and lost. They lost back-to-back finals.
They had 3 Final Fours?
They were in 2 finals in a row. I think it was Sheldon Mack. Hayward had left that first year. You also had those Wichita State teams. You guys remember them? The Fred Van Vliet teams?
Brown uniforms.
And then a couple years ago, that Florida Atlantic team, the 9th seed that made it to the Final Four, lost a nail-biter to the San Diego State team.
That's right. You get these 3-point shooting teams that just, you got like three or 4 guys who could shoot over 45%.
Yep. Exactly.
Yep.
All right, y'all. It is
trivia
time for some trivia. You've seen it on here before, but if you haven't, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be hosting it tonight. I'm going to ask, I think I have maybe 12 questions tonight. I'll ask them both. They'll each write down their answer, show the camera, and then I'll keep tally of their points. And
survey says,
and we'll see who gets this.
Let us know in the comments how many you got right.
You guys,
it's going to be more than I get right.
Now I feel like you guys are going to know some of these because I'm realizing we've talked so much NCAA basketball that I thought I would have some hard ones, but we'll see what happens.
If any of the answers are names, count me out.
Names, years, dates, specific birthdays.
What sign you are.
Yeah. Now I got some, it's all different. A little easy, a little hard, but all right.
Let's do it.
So the first question, which team won the first NCAA men's basketball tournament in 1939? This is the first tournament, and I think it was definitely not 64 teams. It was like 18 teams, but
in what year?
1939.
I remember. That was a good year.
Yeah, I had fun. And I figured this one would kind of be a shot in the dark unless you guys happen to know this.
This is a guess. Ready?
You guys ready?
I've got Kentucky.
Got Indiana.
It is the Oregon Ducks.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would have never guessed that.
Nope. And that's I would have had no idea unless I looked that up. But all right.
That's not in the Goldilocks zone.
Well, now I know.
Yeah, Oregon.
Oregon. Number 2. What player led the famous 2011 tournament run for the Yukon Huskies men's basketball team? 2011 Yukon. There's a player on that team that was the main guy. He led that team.
I don't know.
And I figure you probably are thinking of 2 different guys, and you have to get one of the 2.
All right. It's either him or not him. It's either Shabazz or
It's
Kemba.
Napier.
It's Kemba.
No, 11.
Both that
I knew that both of you guys.
I tell you what, I thought Kemba has had more years in the NBA than that.
I mean, he's been in the NBA.
So Napier was 2014, I think, because he won it as a freshman and a senior. He's one of the few guys. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when. Yeah.
Well, dang.
Oh, the years are just getting away from me, Jimbo.
Look, I knew that the March Madness one would be a little tough. All right, which player led Michigan Wolverines men's basketball in scoring during their 1989 championship run? 1989 championship, this guy led the team in scoring. Michigan Wolverines. And if you've been paying attention to our last few podcasts, you would know this out there.
Michigan.
Because we've talked about them.
Championship. This was pre-Fab 5.
And I will give you guys, this guy holds a record in the NCAA tournament for most points in one March Madness season.
I needed the hint.
Yep.
I'll give you a hint, Brad. He's a phenomenal NBA Jam player. Speaking of our system console here.
While we're
he was
waiting,
lights out from
sign up for our
NBA
March
Jam.
Madness bracket. You win this retro gaming system, probably like 20,000 retro games.
You win this, you will start going to bed later at night than you're used to.
Which might be a good thing. All right.
I'm drawing.
5,
I'm drawing a blank.
4,
I know what team he played
3,
for in the NBA.
2.
Wait. Okay.
That. All right. You ready?
I got Glenn Rice.
Yeah, Reggie Miller.
It is Glenn Rice.
Reggie was a UCLA boy, I think.
Yeah.
All right, here's one that you guys may know. Which player holds the record for the most career NCAA tournament points? This is not just during one year, but in the NCAA tournament, each year they appeared total points. He holds the record.
Got my guy, Christian Laettner.
It is Christian Laettner.
I put Hansbrough.
Again, another point for Duke.
These questions are only getting harder, so
Oh, no, it's not good for me.
this is not a good sign, Brad. Here, I'll give you one.
I told you, don't ask me any questions with names.
Yeah, but this is a good one right here, this question, all right? Which number 13 seed made a surprising run to the Sweet 16 in 2006 behind... You ready?
Are you kidding?
Behind star guard Kevin Pittsnoggle.
Oh, yeah.
So the beginning of that question doesn't really matter. That was to throw you off.
There you go. All right, I know this one.
Country roads
Who you got?
Take me home.
Yep, that is correct.
West Virginia, Mountain Mama.
I knew as soon as I said the name Pittsnoggle.
Yeah.
Man,
What a legend.
He looked like
a center who just dropped threes.
he looked like a true West Virginia.
He did.
He did, yeah.
He crawled out of the mountains to play that tournament.
Guy looked like he was like 38 years old.
Now, Brad, I don't know in your research because you had this team on there, if you know this, but who was the head coach of the 85 champion Villanova Wildcat men's basketball? Very famous coach. If you say Villanova, this is a guy that you think of. 1985.
You should look in your notes.
This is the only coach I didn't write down.
I know, and as you were talking about, I knew the question.
Yeah,
but,
you mentioned him.
and I thought you said him, but
Probably.
You did say him because that's how I know it.
I draw a blank. Again, is it Calipari?
just write it. It's fine.
Got Raleigh.
Raleigh Massimino,
Massimino.
yes. Raleigh, very famous coach from for the Wildcats. All right, here's another that you probably know. Which player hit the iconic buzzer beater to send the Tar Heels men's basketball team to the 2017 Final Four? They either beat they either beat Kentucky or Kansas. I cannot actually remember which one.
2017. What year are we in now? So it was 9 years ago.
Yeah, 2017 North Carolina Tar Heels men's basketball.
This is a guess.
This guy, I will say, might give it away. I can't say that.
Yeah. This is a guess. One of the May brothers.
Yep.
Sean May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not even going to share mine. It was Roy Williams.
Yeah, well.
Who was the guard on that North Carolina team that year? Didn't they have like a stud guard? I got
That
look this
year,
up.
anytime they make a run, they
it was
usually
White,
have,
wasn't it? Who plays for the Bulls?
Colby White.
Kobe White?
I don't know if he was that long ago. I
No?
don't think he was that long. He was a rookie. I don't know.
Yeah, he was a rookie like
Yeah,
2019.
it might have been.
All right.
No, I'm thinking of McCants.
McCants.
Yeah.
I don't
he
think
was
he was on
older.
the team,
He
but
was-
Rashad McCants was a beast.
Yeah, he was older.
Yeah.
All right. Which player led the Kentucky Wildcats men's basketball in scoring during their 2012? So the Kentucky Wildcats won the championship 2012. He led the team in scoring. I believe he was a one-year wonder on the team. Went to the NBA and became an instant star.
I can't remember. Did that team run the table?
I don't think they were undefeated,
I
but
don't think so.
I got AD.
I got Anthony Davis.
that's correct.
That team,
Anthony Davis.
that team was loaded.
Yeah.
Loaded.
Yep. All right.
You may have to add like 20 more questions for me to catch up.
Which coach led the Louisville Cardinals men's basketball to the 2013 national championship, which was vacated 5 years later?
He's giving great press conferences these days, too.
Yeah.
Is it Patino?
Rick Pitino's correct.
I think Rick set that stage in his life, and I don't know that he ever cared that much, but you know when old people get like old enough where they just really stop caring?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think Rick's there. In his
I can't wait to
post-game-
get to that
his
point in
post-game
life.
presser.
It's awesome to see him playing against his son, too.
Yeah, who does he coaches?
St. John's, right?
Is that him?
Patino's at
Yes.
St. John's.
Yeah, that's why St. John's is so good.
Where's his son coaching then?
I can't remember.
He's somewhere up in that area, I
he's in
think.
Dayton?
Okay.
I can't remember where his son is. Maybe Dayton.
All right, this is a hard one.
Providence?
Which player hit the buzzer beater to send Kansas
Oh, I got this one.
Jayhawks men's basketball to the 2008 national championship game? Very famous buzzer beater. from 2008. They replay it every year.
Every year, it slips my mind.
I'd be terrible at this too because I'm terrible with names.
Kansas.
Brent is on a roll here.
I'm dialed in.
Yeah.
I got Mario Chalmers.
That's correct. Man.
I was tough Kansas
I can't
squad.
beat Brent in trivia. I'm nervous.
All right, here's a softball for you. Which team won national championships in both 2006 and 2007 with the same starting lineup?
One of these
Back to back.
One of these was in Atlanta because we went to the Final Four festivities while we were.
This team won back-to-back championships in 2006 and 2007.
UCLA one year. They beat a Greg Oden team, I think, one year. I don't know if that was in the final or not.
Who you got?
The Gators.
You mentioned this earlier, too.
Florida.
This is their team, Noah. Yeah.
You just got to read your notes, Brad.
Yeah, I thought you had, because you were talking about 2006 championship. All right.
Final question?
This is number 12, and then I'm going to do a final. So, which player led Marquette to 2003 Final Four? Went on to the NBA to become a Hall of Famer.
One of the greatest shooting guards of all time.
I'm not
Marquette.
going to get this one either, so.
It's the only Marquette
He
player.
never had knee injuries. I mean, he's still a Hall of Famer, still just one of the most freakishly athletic. He was known for many things, but his ability to block as a 6'4" shooting guard.
He
Athlete. Played with LeBron down in Miami.
Dwayne Wade.
Yeah.
correct. We'll give you that one. Yeah, Dwayne Wade, Marquette.
Dwayne Wade was so good.
All right. Well, I'm not sure that.
Don't even tally them. Wait, double jeopardy, right? I get a chance? Do I get a chance?
4. Well, the problem is you have 4 points and Brent has 10, so you can bet 0. Unless I do triple points.
Let's make it interesting.
All right, but let's see if you guys even get this correct.
Just for giggles.
This is a final question. Which player was most outstanding player in the 19...
Do we have to wager first, or...?
Yeah, you got to write points down first. You might as well wager all 4. If you want to make it interesting,
I'll
you
give
could...
Brad a chance. I'm going to wager enough for him to get in it.
All right. So, which player was most outstanding player of the 1982 NCAA tournament? This one I made kind of hard because it's the... this player won most outstanding player of the 1982 tournament, and I'm going to give you a hint, the team. It is the UNC Tar Heels.
I knew
Player from the UNC Tar Heels won most outstanding player 1982 tournament.
It's one of these two guys. I'm going to take a chance on this one.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
All right, we ready? I got James Worthy.
Yeah, James Worthy.
You were both correct.
All right.
Wow.
I was going to say Michael, but I didn't think it was freshman.
Well, that's why that was.
Yeah.
I thought I would trick you with the Michael, but yeah, James Worthy. He was
right.
a freaking college.
That
All
was
right,
fun.
Brent, congrats.
Thank you. Had to get back on after you beat me last time, Jimmy.
Yeah, that was tough.
I think I'll host the next trivia.
Yeah, I mean,
100%.
NCAA tournament trivia is tough because there's just so much that goes on.
I'll tell you what, I learned a lot that I'll forget by the time I walk
Yeah.
out of this room.
It's going to be a fun couple of nights this week watching
I can't wait.
hoops.
Starting tonight.
I'm so excited that I love, especially the first round, the first 2 days is amazing. And once again, we will have our brackets in here. Please Join. It is completely free to join. You could win money. You could win a retro gaming system.
Don't wait and turn into a pumpkin. This is the time for Cinderella.
Yes.
And Cinderella runs. You don't want to turn into a pumpkin on this thing.
You got no excuses. You don't need to know anything about college basketball. Look, I don't, obviously. So just fill out names according to mascots. What color the team?
It doesn't matter.
Like.
If you enter and you fill out a bracket, you have a chance to win that or money. So either way.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Always a chance. All right, let's real quick. We'll talk about World Baseball Classic. USA taking down Dominican.
USA.
Juan Soto came out.
Controversial final strike.
Now, I don't like that they don't have the replay or whatever it is for that, because that was not a strike. But even the coach came out. He said, that's part of the game, even though it was controversial.
Dude, Gunnar Henderson swinging a mean bat for Team USA this World Baseball Classic. That home run was huge.
Yep.
Bobby Witt Jr. throwing a mean glove around there at shortstop, too.
Yeah,
and made some incredible plays over this tournament.
USA got a little lucky here so far. And
Team Italy started running their mouth too early.
I know.
If you're going to start talking smack, you got to at least meet us in the final.
What highlighted the game, though, even though the Dominicans lost, Aaron Judge comes up. He could put the U.S. up another run.
Judge. He's a playoff judge.
Yeah, but hits a rope out to center field, and Rodriguez robbed
the home run. Yeah,
incredible play.
And you could see Judge just like tip of the cap. There's not much you could do, but also like he needed that. Judge has been struggling a little bit. Him and Raleigh have had a tough go.
He came out hot.
Very tough.
Now he is making up for it in the field. He's got 2 outfield assists, ropes to third base.
The very next inning, he threw Tatis out in third.
He's got a cannon out there.
Really made an impact because later on in the game, Tatis held up at second base on another run and play where he could have easily took third.
Yep. But yeah, anyway, that game, USA versus Venezuela.
Tonight? Tomorrow for you if you watch this when we release
or it'll be the night before when you watch it. So, sorry.
You'll already know who won.
Tomorrow, today, yesterday as we call it.
Yep, you'll already know if the Wolfpack are in the tournament also.
Yeah, we'll touch on that next week.
Big win for Cam Young, too. Finally getting a win on the PGA Tour. Players' Championship, birdie in 17.
Man, what's his name really collapsed?
Oberg.
Yeah. Look, I had a 3-leg parlay out on this one with Oberg, Schauffele, and Siwoo Kim making the top 10, and Kim let me down. The other 2 made it, but this one was like outstanding, like plus 1,500 or something like that.
Vegas knows all. That's why it was plus 1,500.
He's always 1 leg off.
Yeah, that's why Vegas wins. But also, we'll talk about, you had mentioned it earlier, I didn't see, but Jalen Waddle traded to the Denver Broncos for a first and a third round pick and then a swap of 4th round pick. Broncos loading up. They were already good. I don't know.
Huge for them.
I don't know what the hell Miami is doing down there. They're just gutting everything. And look, I wouldn't put it past them to be tanking this year for the upcoming draft. But we shall see. Also, MLB opening night is happening 1 week away, and I am pumped about that as well. A lot of fun stuff happening right now.
It's a good time of year to be a sports fan. March Madness, got the Masters next month, baseball season about to kick into gear.
Yeah. So stay tuned. We're probably going to put a little more of this stuff out on Instagram since this comes out once a week. So we'll try and do a better job of updating you guys on Instagram about stuff happening around in the sports world. But yeah, stick around next week. We'll be recapping round 1 and 2 of the NCAA tournament. And we're going to finally dig into some MLB preview. We're going to talk who we think win the World Series, Cy Young's, Rookie of the Years. It's going to be a fun one.
Have some futures bets for you. It's going to be good.
Oh, yeah. So check us out next week. But we appreciate you guys watching. Please like and subscribe. Please go to our Instagram, the Sports Mixtape. Go to the bio. join our March Madness bracket for some free stuff. Other than that, we appreciate you watching.
If you're used to ESPN or CBS brackets, suck it up. Join the Yahoo bracket.
Yeah, you create a fake account. We don't care. But
until next time.